Hi everybody, Elizabeth Moore here. Today we are back for day 4 of our Grocery Getters Bootcamp, and today I wanted to talk about something that confused me for the longest time as well. So, whole wheat, 100% wheat, multigrain, what's the best thing to buy? So, the packaging can be very deceiving, like I talked about yesterday, so you have to look at the ingredients as well. So basically, the main thing that we want to be looking for is the least processed. So that would be anything that says whole. So whole grain, multigrain, etc. So if something just says wheat, that can mean it is enriched, bleached, processed. If it says 100% wheat, it can still mean the same thing. It doesn't say anything about the actual wheat itself. Multigrain is actually probably one of the most misleading ones, because when we think multigrain, we're like, yeah, that sounds like it would be a really good option. But multigrain says nothing about the type of grains that are actually in it. So it could contain 15 grains, but they're all processed. So when things are processed, they lose some of their nutritional value. So if something says refined, that means it was processed, and so it doesn't have as much nutritional value as the whole grain. And then if something says enriched, that means it was processed and therefore lost some of the nutrients, but then they went back in and added some of those nutrients in, but they're not in the same quantities as it was when the grain was whole. So we've got whole grain, we've got whole wheat. Both of them are comparable. The key word is whole. And so what you always want to do is flip it over. You want to be looking at the ingredients, and the ingredients are listed in order of quantity. So if the first ingredient says whole, whatever, whole wheat, whole grain, then you know that that is the best choice for you to buy. This applies to bread, pasta, crackers, bagels, waffles, anything where the ingredients would be some kind of wheat. You're looking for whole wheat. Now, the next thing I want to talk about here is cereal. Cereal is something that can be very tricky to buy as well. So just like everything else, you're not looking at what is on the label, you're flipping it over, checking out the ingredients. For cereals, you're looking for those 5 ingredients or less. The whole grain of some sort should be the first ingredient. You want to check out the sugar content as well. And you want to look for fiber in cereals. So a good number for fiber in cereals is about 4 grams per serving. So remember, the nutrition facts are all based on serving size, 1 serving size. And then as far as oatmeal, I know a lot of people like oatmeal, and there's a lot of different kinds as well. And this confused me, so I'm going to share with you, what I learned about it. So there's steel cut, and there's rolled, and there's instant. They're basically, the difference between them is how much they are processed. So instant is the most processed, and steel cut and rolled is just they're different. They're processed in different ways. What's surprising is that the nutritional value in all 3 is actually very similar. But what is different is the way that our body processes them. So the less processed, so that would be the steel cut and the rolled oats, our body process, it takes longer to digest and to process them. So the good thing about that is that it keeps us fuller longer, and it doesn't spike our insulin levels. So those 2 are better choices when it comes down to it, because it's going to keep us fuller for longer, and it has a lower glycemic index as well. But if you choose instant, the best thing to do is to buy the plain and then sweeten it yourself, because a lot of the instant varieties of oatmeal have a lot of added sugar in it. So that's one thing that you want to be checking out, when you are buying the instant. If you're not going to steel cut or the roll, because it does take a lot longer to make those two. So instant, just check out the nutrition facts, try to go for plain, and there's a ton of ways that you can sweeten it yourself. So I hope that this helped to clear up some of the whole wheat versus 100% wheat versus multigrain, and give you some tips and ideas on sugar or cereals and oatmeals. I'll be back again on Monday. I hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you.